There we go. Hopefully you'll be able to see me from here. Okay, perfect. So find yourself a nice comfortable space. And we're just going to get yourself standing first of all. And all we're going to do is just roll the weight over onto your toes and then back onto your heels. Let's just play with that centre of gravity. Roll onto your toes, roll onto your heels. There we go. Just keep going. Try and make the body sort of flow nice and gently rather than sort of quite rigid movement. It's all about nice and relaxation and flow with this one. So just roll onto your toes, roll onto your heels. Perfect. Let your arms kind of join in and just let your arms swing as you're rolling front to back. That's it, good. And you can make the movements go a little bit further, so you're coming up onto your toes. That's it, and then rocking back onto your heels. So we get a nice bit of articulation through your ankles. Don't worry about coming up too high. Just think about flowing the movement through your ankles at the moment. Good. There we go. And as you're doing this, just relax your shoulders. There we go. And we can just start to get the arms going a little bit higher. There we go. Check you've got space around you. So when you're ready, we're going to try and see if we can reach all the way up towards the ceiling and slowly come down. We're just going to take a pause at the top. So you'll think about lengthening your fingers towards the ceiling, coming right up onto your toes, lower down, rock back, come all the way up towards the ceiling, come down and rock back. There we go. And a couple more. Lovely. Finish up with this one. And just let your feet rest on the mat and just start circling your shoulders. Nice big circles, scoop them up towards your ears and circle them all the way down as if you're sliding your shoulder blades into your back pockets. Super. And we'll make this movement bigger and we'll bring the arms all the way in. So circle them all the way up and round and down. So try and see if you can draw the biggest circle that you can with your arms. Super. And we'll bring the feet in as well. So we'll stretch the whole way through the body as you come up. Lift and stretch. Watch your shoulders don't shrug up with you. Try and really lengthen through your arms as you go round. Come all the way up onto your tiptoes and roll back down. Stretch. Perfect. Good. And we'll do two more. Really lengthen. Try and get as tall as you can. Each time you do it, try and reach just that tiny little bit further. Perfect. Okay, take both of the arms up towards the ceiling now. Really lift and stretch. Grab hold of one of your wrists with the opposite hand. Okay, so the hand that is grabbing the arm is going to pull your arm over to the side. Actually, we're going to do this with the legs a little bit wider for this time. So I'm going to grab hold of one of my wrists and I'm using my arm to pull my arm across and over. Make sure as you do this that you're not leaning forwards or leaning backwards. Keep yourself flat in that neutral position so that you're not leaning forwards or extending through your back. It's almost like your body's being trapped between two panes of glass. And just keep pulling. Work with your breathing here. So as you breathe in, just hold your position. And as you breathe out, just see if you can soften and lengthen and reach just a tiny little bit more. Breathe in, hold your position. And as you breathe out, just see if you can just lengthen a tiny little bit more. You may not get any further, but just imagine if you were to get a little bit further, where would that take you to? And just see if your body will go with you. And gently come back up to center again. Swap your hands around so you're grabbing hold of the other wrist. Okay, so again, lengthen up towards the ceiling. And take yourself over towards the side. Good, so just go to where you feel a nice, comfortable stretch first of all. Hold it there, and then when you're ready, work with the breathing. So you're going to breathe in, hold your position, and as you breathe out, just see if you can just go a little bit further over. Breathe in to hold, and breathe out, sink a little bit further over. Breathe in to hold, and breathe out. Last time, just see if you can get a little bit further over if you can. And gently come all the way back up to center. Watch your shoulders haven't come up with you and let your arms just rest down by your sides again. Okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to have a little go at lengthening through the hamstrings. So bring your feet back so that they are hip width apart. I'm going to show you from the side. So the move that we're going to do is imagine you karate chop. at your hips, and you're just your bottom back, but you're also trying to lift your bottom at the same time. So it's almost like a flat bend to come forwards, but at the same time, it's not just bending forwards because it's not coming from the back. What you're imagining is that you are trying to lift your bottom. So imagine that there is a string attached to this part here, and it's trying to lift you up towards the ceiling. So as you bend forwards, lift, 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 lift. Don't drop your chest down too far. It's not a sort of bend down, bow down type movement. So keep your chest lifted, facing towards the opposite wall, but now imagine that you're lifting your bottom up towards the ceiling, and you should feel a lovely stretch down through the back of your hamstrings. And that's quite a nice one, so not put too much pressure through there. We can turn it into a dynamic stretch. So what you're going to do is, as you breathe out, lengthen down and lengthen the muscles. Breathe in as you come back up. Breathe out, lift your bottom. Breathe in as you come back up. Breathe out, lift, and breathe in as you come back up. So as we're moving, we're just gently easing into that stretch a little bit more. Not every stretch has to be held for an amount of time. Sometimes it's quite nice to controlled move in and out of that stretch. Okay, good. Let's do 2 more. Breathe in as you come back up, and breathe out. Super, okay. And then we're just going to walk through the feet. So as you do this one, you're going to really push, really imagine you're lifting your heel, push your toes into the floor, so you're feeling that stretch through the sole of your feet. So you get a nice stretch through the sole. Okay, good. Perfect. Okay, let's stick with 1 foot up and just draw some circles. So we're just allowing the hip to articulate the knee, the ankle, and just release through those joints really gently. So we're not taking to end range of movement, we're just moving in a nice, comfortable position, and we're just loosening out through all of those joints. You can feel it working through your hip, through the knee, and through the foot and ankle. And then stop onto the other side, and then just articulate around. Hopefully your ankle's not clicking as much as mine is to doing that. There we go, just a few more seconds. So feel it working through your hip, through your knee, and through your ankle. Super. Okay, so from here we are now going to take the legs a little bit wider. We're going to bend down towards the floor. So we're going to bend at the hips and allow ourselves to just come straight forwards again. I'm going to put your hands down towards the floor. Okay, now if you are super stretchy with your hamstrings, you might be able to get hands flat down. You may even be able to walk your hands behind you. But if you're like me and you can't get your hands to touch the floor, we need a little bit of a bend. Okay, so go down as far as you're comfortable to go, so you feel the stretch, and then just bend your knees until you get your hands flat on the floor. Okay, from here you're going to breathe out and stretch the legs up. So you're really pushing the floor away from you with your feet, so you can feel the stretch coming up through your hamstrings. Breathe in, come down. Breathe out, lengthen up. If this is really easy and you're not feeling the stretch, take your hands further back. Okay, so you're really trying to challenge that stretch a little bit more. Okay, you may even want to bring your feet closer together if you're still not quite getting the stretch, but take it to the point where you are feeling the stretch, and we're breathing out. Lift your bottom towards the ceiling. Breathe in as you come down, bend the knees. Breathe out, straighten the knees, lift. Breathe in, come down. So your hands are not moving anywhere, it's just bending your knees, lifting your bottom, get that stretch through your hamstrings. So again, a nice dynamic stretch. But this time we're getting a little bit more activation through the hamstrings because we're getting that push at the same time. Okay, 2 more. Breathe out, lift. Breathe in, come down. Breathe out, lift. Breathe in as you come down. Okay, great. So from here, you're going to turn your feet. So you're facing both feet are going over in that direction. We're going to bend down again. Bend your front knee, so you're coming down into this position. Okay. Now, your back leg, depending again on how tight your calf or your hamstring are, your toes might be up. You may be able to get your heel flat on the floor. The aim is to get your heel on the floor. It just depends how much your muscles will let you do that. Okay, so from here, we're now going to lunge forward. So we're going to just allow that back leg just to stretch out a little bit more. We'll take it into a stretch through the hip flexors here. Okay, just hold that stretch. Okay, so what you can do from here is, as your toes of the back leg are there, you're really digging your toes in, so you're feeling that stretch through the sole of your foot as well as the stretch through your hip flexors. Okay, Good, and then we'll slowly come out of this by stretching your front leg, okay? So we're going to aim to see if you can try and straighten that front leg. It does depend a little bit how long your arms are as well, but lengthen that stretch front leg. So I can already feel the stretch coming all the way through my hamstring through here. Super, just hold it, just breathe. See if you can stretch it a little bit more as you breathe out. Okay, one more. We're going to bend the front knee again. We're going to go down into that lunge position. So you've got a nice stretch through your hip flexors. So all the way through the front of the hip flexors on that back leg, you should feel this. Just see if you can just let your hips drop down towards the floor a little bit more. Each time you're dropping it down, you just see if you can ease into that stretch a little bit more. That's it. Keep breathing. Try not to hold your breath as you do it. And then gently just stretch that front leg again. See if we can just get a bit of a stretch there. So we're pushing the floor away with your front leg. See if you can get that stretch up through the back of the calf and your hamstring on that front leg. Super. And then just gently bring the back leg forwards, and we're going to take the other leg back now. Okay, so we're coming to this nice wide lunge position. Bend your front knee. Hands go down, take your back leg back to where you're comfortable, and we're dropping the hips down. Just watch this front knee doesn't go too far over your toes at the front, because you don't want to put pressure through your knee. So we're going to hold it here, let your hips drop down. So as you breathe out, let the hips sink down, front knee bends, hips drop down. Good. That's it. A few more deep breaths. Each time you breathe out, soften into the stretch a little bit more. And then when you're ready, stretch that front leg. Okay, so you're feeling the stretch coming through your hamstrings there. So you can lift your bottom up towards the ceiling. You might feel a stretch across your shoulder blades, because that's a stretching across your shoulder blades at the same time. So just keep pushing through that front leg. Push the floor away from you. Feel the length at the back of your leg. And then gently come down into that stretch again. So let your hips drop down towards the floor. Just work with your breathing. As you breathe out, soften down. Breathe in, hold it. Breathe out, soften down. Good, and then push again. So push through the front leg. See if you can stretch your hips up towards the ceiling, lengthen through that leg. There we go. Just take it to a comfortable position. Don't take it to a point that's hurting. It should be nice and comfortable. A warm feeling through the muscle maybe. Okay, and then bring that leg in. Okay, let's come down onto the mat. Let's go into all fours. So, hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips, and we'll take a nice deep breath in and round up through the spine. Push your spine up towards the ceiling. And breathe out as you sink down. Hips come up, head looks towards the wall in front of you, not towards the ceiling. We don't want to get too much strain through the neck. Breathe in, tuck your hips under, push your shoulders up towards the ceiling. And breathe out as you soften down. Lift the hips, look forwards. Breathe in, tuck under. Lift through the spine. Really feel your shoulders separating. Watch your shoulders haven't shrugged towards your ears. Keep them down towards your back pockets, and feel that lengthening through your neck at the same time. Breathe out, sink down. We'll do one more. Breathe in, tuck under with your hips, really go for it this time. Push your spine up towards the ceiling. Really feel like your arms have just got 2 inches longer. That's it, and then sink down, arch through the spine, look forwards. Perfect. Okay, we're going to come sitting onto the mat. If you can, sitting in this position. So you have one leg in front of you and the other one tucked around behind you. Both of them are at 90 degrees. If you can't do this, it's not for everybody, not everybody's hips allow them to do this. If you can't do this, you can do the same exercise with your legs crossed in front of you. But see if you can get into this position. Another way of doing this, if you can't get into this position, is to sit on a few pillows. So just stack a few pillows up so you're sitting a little bit higher up off the ground, and that will take the pressure off of your hip flexors if that's uncomfortable. So just take a second to get yourself into a nice comfortable position with this. Okay, and then the leg that's tucked behind you, or if your legs are crossed, just pick a side. You're going to take the arm up towards the ceiling. Okay, now really lengthen through the arm as much as you can. Okay, take the hand of the leg that's in front of you, just going to come not too close to you, it needs to be a little way apart, away from you. So really lengthen through your arm, and then you're just going to slide over to the side. Now as I come over, my hand that's on the mat is going to bend to allow me to come over, and then come back up. So let's breathe out as we go over, and breathe in as we lift up. Breathe out to come over. Breathe in as you come up. Breathe out. And breathe in. Just a few more. Breathe out. Really lengthen. Each time you go over, just see if you can get a little bit further. So you may want to just reach up a little bit higher with your arm, or a little bit of a deeper bend with your elbow, just to allow your body to get closer towards the mat. Let's do the last one. Okay, now what I want you to do is the hand that's on the floor, take it further away. If you're on your mat, take it right towards the edge of your mat. If you're just on the floor, just take it a little bit further away from you. Now from here, lengthen the arm up again. Now as you come over this time, twist your shoulders. So if you are on a mat, your shoulders are going to aim to be parallel to the edge of the mat. Okay, so instead of coming over facing the screen here, I'm going to twist all the way over, and I'm going to try and reach as far as I can. So ideally, the hand that's coming over is going to go further than the hand that's on the floor. Okay, in order to get that stretch coming all the way up through the side. Yeah, a nice lovely stretch there. And let's come back over. So let's work a little bit with the breathing. So breathe out to go over. Breathe in to come back up. Breathe out, go over. Breathe in, come back up. Breathe out. And breathe in. This time we're going to stay down. So breathe out. Come all the way over. Now, as you breathe in, hold that position with your arm. Don't allow it to come backwards. So breathe in. And as you breathe out, just see if you can slide your fingers a tiny little bit further away. Breathe in, hold the position, and breathe out. See if you can just slide your fingers a little bit further away. Breathe in, hold. Breathe out, tiny, go on for a millimetre further. That's it. And then breathe in, we're going to take the arm back up and over. Super. Let's swing the legs round. Or if you're sitting cross-legged, stay like that. Okay, so what you can also find with this exercise is one hip's not so happy to do that, so you may find you're okay doing it that way, but you need to go cross-legged for the other side. But again, see how you feel. So the leg that is crossed in front of you, that is where the hand goes onto the mat. The leg that's tucked behind you, that's the arm that goes up towards the ceiling. Really lift and lengthen towards the ceiling, okay? And we're going to breathe out as we come over. Bend the elbow that's on the mat. Breathe in as you come up. Breathe out, come over. Breathe in as you come up. Breathe out as you come over. Breathe in to come up. Good, a few more. So you can get a little bit further each time. So it's either a bit more of a bend of the elbow or a bit more lift up and reach with that arm. Good. And I want you to just check that your shoulder is not coming up towards your ear. You want to think about long necks the whole time. Lengthen through the neck, it helps to lengthen through the spine. Okay, this time we're going over, we're going to take the hand a bit further away. So this is where we twist. So lift, twist towards the edge of the mat and lengthen that arm. So we're breathing out. Breathe in as you come back up. Breathe out as you come over. Breathe in as you come back up. Breathe out, lengthen. Breathe in, come back up. Let's go, one more. This time you're going to stay down, so come over. That's it. Now hold, as you breathe in, hold your position, and breathe out, just slide that hand a bit further away. Breathe in, hold. Breathe out, lengthen it, see if you can get a millimetre further, or just that imagination you're getting further. Breathe in, hold. Breathe out to lengthen. And breathe in, we're going to come back. Up and over. Perfect. Now, from here, if you are in this position with the leg tucked forwards, all I'm going to get you to do is to lengthen the other leg away, and we're going to tip over so that you're coming into this position here. So, the leg that was tucked around behind you is now long behind you, and the leg that was tucked in front of you is now tucked underneath you, coming across your body. If your hip only allows you to do it like this, then that's fine. You can still come so that your knees are parallel. But ideally, you want to twist that hip, bring your foot across your body, and allow yourself just to sink down into that stretch. Okay. So the stretch you should feel in your bum, in your buttocks, on the side of the leg that's tucked underneath you. If you can't feel the stretch, lean into it. Okay. If you've got any pain in your groin or your hip or anything like that, then obviously don't do this stretch. You have got an alternative if you can't do this one. This is the same stretch, pulling up, so you may feel more comfortable doing the stretch in this position. So holding onto the leg, pulling your leg up and across you. Okay, so if you can't do that one, do that. Otherwise, we are down in this stretch because we get a little bit deeper here, and you're going to lean into your buttock to just try and get that stretch as much as you can. Good. Okay, when you're ready, you're coming up onto your hands. See if you can lift your chest, look forwards towards the wall in front of you. Okay, and then lift your chin up. Not if you get dizzy, but just see if you can just lift your head and look up towards the ceiling. Not too far, don't let yourself go dizzy. Good. From here, just squeeze your shoulder blades together so you're really opening up through the chest. Perfect. Let your head come down, soften through the chest, and we're going to just see if you can untangle that leg and swap it around so you've got the other leg going through. Okay. So cross that leg in and then just slide the back leg back and down and just come down into that sort of rest onto your elbows if you can. Okay, so this leg is tucked through and across my body. Other leg goes nice and straight back, and then you just soften down into that. You may already feel the stretch, it depends how tight your glutes are at the minute, but if you need a little bit more of a stretch to come into this point here, lean into it. Just take your weight over until you feel that stretch. That's it, good. There we go, and just find the point, find that sweet point. And then just hold it there. When you've held it there, just work with your breathing. Just breathe in to hold. Breathe out. See if you can just imagine the muscle releasing and softening. Breathe in and hold it. Breathe out. See if you can soften a little bit more. Okay, when you're ready, you're going to come up onto your hands. Pull your shoulder blades back and down. Look towards the wall in front of you. And if you can, lift your chin up towards the ceiling. Good. That's it. Just keep breathing. Try not to hold your breath in this position. Perfect. And then just gently soften down. Untangle that leg and take yourself all the way down onto the floor. Okay. So we're going to stretch through your hip flexors this time. So this is a good one to really get a nice deep stretch into your quads, but it's not good if you've got knee problems. So if you've got knee problems, your alternative is this one that we've done before. If you've done these classes before, this one where you tighten up your glutes and push your hips forward, that will give you a nice stretch through your quads there without putting too much pressure on your knees. But if you can, lie onto your knees, see if you can hug one knee up towards your bottom and really just pull that foot towards your bottom, just feel that stretch. Good. We're going to take this stretch and it gets a little bit deeper, so just work with what you're comfortable with, especially, like I say, if you have any knee problems, then don't do this exercise. Go into that kneeling one. Good, right, soften through that leg, release, and then swap and hold on to the other foot. Draw it up and in. Good. And you can do this again, all of these stretches you can work with the breathing, so it's the same pattern for every stretch. Breathe in, hold your position so that you don't ease out, and breathe out. And as you breathe out, just see if you can melt into the stretch a little bit more. So for this one, you're actually pulling harder with your arm. So breathe in to hold it, and then breathe out and just draw your knee in towards you, or your foot in towards your bottom a little bit more. Breathe in to hold, and breathe out and just draw the knee in a little bit more. Okay, if you can, if you are flexible enough to do so, see, there we go. See if you can hold on to both knees and just relax and see if you can pull both in. It might not be for you, just see how you feel. And If you are really flexible and you're able to do this one, a nice way to get into a nice stretch from your back, and again, not if you have back problems, but you can hold onto your feet, push your feet away, and we can lift through the chest. It's a lovely chest stretch, as well as an active quad stretch. But again, only do that if your back is comfortable and you're okay doing that. If it's not for you, then just go back to single leg and just enjoy that stretch. Okay, but if you can grab both knees, then go for it. Fantastic. Okay, and then just relax, pop those legs down, and we'll come up to sitting. We're going to sit with the legs in front of you. Okay, there we go. So first one, we're going to bend the knees in, and you're going to pop the soles of your feet together and just let your knees drop out. So my hips are quite flexible, so they will drop out quite a bit, but for most people, you're going to end up in this kind of position. Don't force your legs down for this one, because they're quite tender, those muscles on the inner thighs. So all you're going to do is just let your knees go to the point where you feel the stretch, and then just let the weight of your arms, no pushing, just let the weight of your arms sit onto your knees, and that will just increase the stretch. If you don't feel like you're getting too much stretch through the inner thighs, from here, you're going to bend forwards from the hips and you're going to lean into the stretch, and then you will feel it. There we go. And just hold it. And again, you can work with your breathing. So you're breathing in as you hold your position. Breathe out, just see if you can soften a little bit down. Breathe in to hold. Breathe out, soften down. Breathe in, hold. Breathe out, see if you can go a little bit further. Last one, breathe in, hold. And breathe out, soften down, soften down. And breathe in and slowly come out of the stretch. Don't come out too quickly, because you can make the muscle suddenly recoil. So gently pull yourself back up. Super. Let's have you stretching your legs out lengthways here. So we've got a nice little soft V with the legs. Sit right up onto your sitting bones. Lengthen up all the way up through the chest. And we're going to do a little roll down through the spine. So chin to your chest. Imagine you're curling your spine now. So you're slumping down into the spine. Imagine you're putting your nose into your tummy button. So you're going to slump down, nose into your tummy button, and then walk your hands away from you. So you're lengthening away from you. So again, this is a nice one to work with breathing. Breathe in, hold. Breathe out. See if your fingers can creep a tiny little bit further away. Breathe in to hold. And breathe out to lengthen. Breathe in, hold. Breathe out, lengthen. Breathe in to hold. And breathe out, just lengthen those fingers away. Last one, breathe in, hold. And breathe out and lengthen. Okay, now try, without coming out of the stretch, walk both hands round to one leg. Okay, and see if you can hold on to that leg there. Good. That's it. And again, now let's work with breathing. Breathe in to hold. Breathe out. See if you can get a little bit further down now. So you're aiming to put your chest down onto your knee. Breathe in, hold. Breathe out and soften. Breathe in to hold. And breathe out to soften. Last one, breathe in, hold. Breathe out to soften. Gently come just a little way out of the stretch as you take your hands round towards the other side. And then soften down into that stretch. Take it to your stretch point first of all, then we work with the breathing. Breathe in, hold your position. Breathe out, soften down. Breathe in to hold. Breathe out to soften. Breathe in to hold. And breathe out to soften. Good. And breathe in, just walk your hands back up through your, so you're ending up sitting up tall again. Okay, so from here, take your hands behind your head, open out through your elbows. Okay, if it's uncomfortable to do this sitting, you can come up onto your knees, but we are going to breathe out, twist to one side, breathe in to come to the center, breathe out, twist to the side, breathe in and come to the center. Okay, don't push your hands onto the head. You're not trying to push your head forward. What you are trying to do is interlace your fingers behind so that you are pushing your shoulder blades together and opening out through your chest. Good, come back to the center. Breathe out, twist. Breathe into the center. Breathe out, twist. Breathe in. One more to each side. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out to twist. Breathe in to come to the center. Perfect. Let's go to the side now. So breathe out, come to the side. Breathe in and come to the center. Breathe out, go down. So if this is really uncomfortable on your hip flexors, go up onto your knees if you need to. Breathe out to go down. Breathe in, come back up. And we're just aiming just to get that a little bit further down each time. Breathe in, come back up. Breathe out, come down. We're doing one more to each side now. Watch you haven't pushed your chin forward. Squeeze those shoulder blades together and think about lengthening through the neck. Last one, breathe out down to the side. Breathe in, come back. Let your shoulders relax. Let's tuck your legs around. You're coming back onto all fours. From here, tuck your toes under, come right up into that down dog position and just walk through your heels so you get a nice stretch through your calves. There we go, lovely. Just keep working to push your heels down. If it's really easy to put your heels down and bring your feet closer, I'm just staying out here because my calves are always really tight. There we go, just walk through your heels. Now when you're ready, bring your feet in towards the center, bring your hands so you're ended up at the bottom of a roll down. We're going to gently just think about restacking through the spine, watching that your shoulders are not near your ears as you come all the way back up again. And we just come to standing and just circle those shoulders. Super. Good, just keep circling your shoulders. Okay, and we're just going to finish with some lengthening through the body. So breathe in, stretch. Breathe out, let your arms come down. Breathe in, lengthen. Breathe out as you come down. Breathe in, lengthen. Breathe out as you come down. Onto tiptoes this time. Breathe in, come all the way up. Lengthen as much as you can. Breathe out to come down. Breathe in, stretch. And breathe out to come down. Breathe in and stretch. And breathe out to come down. Full body swings now. So breathe in, come all the way up. And breathe out. Bend your knees. Swing your arms through and lift. Hold the stretch. Hold the stretch. When you're ready, bend your knees. Swing your arms through and throw them up. Hold the balance if you can. Last one. Bend your knees. Swing those arms through and lift. Hold. Lengthen towards the ceiling as much as you can. Slowly lower your heels down. Slowly bring your arms down. Well done. Hopefully you now feel nice and stretched through every joint and ready to enjoy Friday night drinks. Good. Perfect. Thanks, guys.